1928 by Mr. and Mrs. Ott. They were from Conroe in Dallas. They had a hotel in Dallas, a boarding house in Conroe. And the reason for the existence of this whole building was Mr. Ott would come to Liberty County to take care of business. And this is when the South Liberty oil field was having its oil boom. And he didn't have a place to stay. There was a hotel over here off of South Houston. But it was one of those fancies. You had to have, lots of money and make a reservation. You couldn't, just like you do now, pull up and say, I need a room. So Mr. Ott had this hotel built. They had 50 rooms. Over here is all the information about the downtown square. You see here, this is the third courthouse. That's on the square down here. And that would put the Ott Hotel somewhere about right over here. All of this information was pulled when we were getting the historical marker. Over here, this is the original check-in counter from 1928. And everything in the counter is things that were left in the storeroom, in the attic, things that people have brought us that were their grandparents. Like this set of Bibles right here is dated 1905, and they're called Traveling Salesman Bibles. And this teapot on the bottom is engraved Czechoslovakia, which Czechoslovakia is no longer in existence. So that gives you some idea. We'll go down this way. Everything on the right-hand side of the wall pertains to the Ott, the property from Liberty. Everything on the left-hand side of the wall pertains to the year 1928. This is a picture of Liberty, this area, in 1907. Here is the train depot, and if you can look out the door, you can see the pitch and the sign, which here's the pitch and the sign, the railroad track. So that would put the Ott Hotel right about where this chicken coop is. This picture here is 1967, when Highway 90 was added. So right here is the train depot y'all just looked at. Y'all came around the corner, and here's the Ott Hotel. That would put McDonald's and Whataburger right here. There wasn't anything there. This is called a county plot map. This is a plot map of the whole county. This is a plot map of the city of Liberty. So if you break it down, this is our block. There's 4 sections to the block. This was owned by Mr. Woods. He bought it from Mexico with the Texas Texas territorial grants. It's when Mexico started selling pieces of Texas to Texas when Texas was not Texas. Does that make sense? Okay. It was in 1831 Mr. Woods owned this particular lot. And this is just a blow up of that. The Ott Hotel sits right here in the middle of section 3. The next floor, these are the tax receipts and the tax abatements for the property in the hotel. And let's pick one. We'll see right here. 1925, B.M. O'Brien paid the taxes on this property. Okay? This was not the hotel yet until 28. Okay, you come over here, and does anybody know who Price Daniels is?
The governor.
Very good. At one time, like this one right here, 1942, June the 30th, Price Daniel owned Lot 3, which means the governor of Texas at one time, and he goes all the way from 42, here he is in 46, he owns the hotel, 47, 48, and then it goes back to Mrs. J.J. Ott in 1952. So the governor of Texas owned the train hotel. These will tell you how much money they had to pay for their taxes. So here you go, you got Price Daniels. In 1945, he paid $4,500 in taxes. That's a lot of money for 1928, all the way up to probably about 1957. Here's a copy of an article from the Houston Press. It's out of Houston, Texas. It used to be one of the newspapers there. And there's a picture of the Ott under construction. And it says that Liberty's 50,000 brick veneer modern hotel being built by contractor Eliza Birch for Mr. and Mrs. Ott of Conroe. And so what I did is I blew this picture up, and then it gives you some idea, and there's a better picture out in the lobby of what it actually looked like while it was under construction. Another feature about this is when the train goes by, this building moves. It rocks. There's only one train track. There used to be two. That second train track is only 14 feet from the side of the building. Because if you go down by the bypass, there's two train tracks. If you go down here before it goes into Dayton, before it gets to the rail house, there's two train tracks. Well, they took this train track up, which is this one right here. So, to have another railroad set of tracks this close to the building, I hope a train goes by while you're here, because then you'll see if there had been another one, you really would have been rocking and rolling. This, if you check out the website, it should have been on there. This is the actual certified Texas history that the state of Texas certified when we got our historical marker. It just tells basically what I told you, who owned the land, all the way down to me and my husband owning the property. This is all about us getting the Texas historical marker, all the different newspapers and articles we had. This is an article that's on the web and in a magazine. Mr. Hawks writes for Texas Less Traveled, and he came to spend a weekend with us, and this is his review of our little historical building. Also down here, ABC 13 News has been here, and we also had Mr. Parks from Oklahoma City. He owns the Oklahoma City newspaper. He's been here and stayed a weekend with us. On this side of the wall, I told you that's all about 1928. These are all the original door keys to the hotel rooms. And this is, you can't see it very well, but that's actually the time clock that was kept in the check-in counter, because you could stand at the front at the check-in counter and check the time on the train depot. So also from 47 to 63, this was the bus station. This is exactly how the whole hotel, downstairs and upstairs, look. None of this has been changed. You got door after door. These are all original hotel rooms from 1928. Nothing's been changed as far as their size. Several of the pictures are made by Ann Hardy, who is now Ann Prince, who is the granddaughter of the Otts. So most of the hand-painted paintings in this hallway are done by Anne, the granddaughter of the Otts.
Is it true that Bonnie and Clyde want to stay with this hotel?
We don't have an affidavit with that, but we have been to the Bonnie and Clyde Museum and worked with them. And they have been traced to Tally's restaurant here in town. And they have been traced on their descent from Dallas when they were running from the law in Dallas when they killed the 2 police officers. And we have affidavit that Tally's restaurant was down here by the bypass. And so it's plausible that they stayed here.
Has there been any other famous people to stay here?
Yes. We have, I should have brought the book out, I didn't know. Ron Stone is a newscaster out of Houston. He has stayed here. Mr. and Mrs. Dempsey Henley, who the prison is named after, they were actually married here and spent their honeymoon here. Dan Rather has stayed here when Liberty had its bicentennial. Dale Evans and their musical group stayed here also the same weekend of the bicentennial for Liberty.